In this video, we're going to talk about the post-purchase upsell strategy and how to really maximize your average order value in the backend. Now, with most people, they obsess with the front end, and I talk about the front end a lot on my channel, which is how to make better ads, how to make better preset pages, better sales pages, and better checkouts, right? To improve your average order value and conversion on the front end. But there's a second part to the equation, which most of people miss, right? So this is the whole backend, meaning as soon as somebody of your customers click on the call to action in the checkout before they hit the thank you page, right? Because essentially, if you think about it, then their dopamine spike is the highest as soon as they click purchase in the checkout, right? Meaning they also have the highest probability of taking more products now if we show them these one-time offers before they hit the thank you page. And that's what this video is about, right? So in this video, we're going to break down 3 different funnels, right, based on different front ends. So funnel number 1 is going to be a low ticket front end. Funnel number 2 is going to be a mid-tier front end. And then funnel number 3 is going to be a high ticket front end. Now, I'm going to break down the different mechanics behind all of these funnels and then also the different upsells in just a second. But first, I want to talk about the prerequisite and then also the high level idea of these funnels, right? So, prerequisite for all of this is direct response funnels, right? So, I'm not going to talk about this too much in this video. I have dozens of specific videos breaking down quiz funnels, VSL funnels, advertorial funnels, and also how to build sales pages. So, I really recommend you to watch this video because this is essentially a 2-hour breakdown of really how to build funnels end to end, right? So if you don't have a direct response funnel yet, please watch this video. If you already have a direct response funnel, even better, because then we can focus on the post-purchase upsells, right? So OTOs, as you can see here, is essentially just a one-time offer. The format of upsells that we typically use is either a video sales letter or a text sales letter, right? And then the type of upsells we typically use is a more of the same upsell. We upsell them on faster results, we upsell them on longer term results, or we upsell them on results to another problem. Now, we have different one-time offer flows based on the front-end offer, right? So the 3 funnels that we're going to break down now is a low-ticket one, so meaning a sub $50 AOV, then a mid-ticket one, meaning 50 to 150 AOV, and then a high-ticket one, which is over $150 AOV, right? So let's get into funnel number 1. Now, before I break this down, I just quickly want to show you something. So this was the first brainstorming that we did together with our client, where we essentially started building the first version of this funnel. So I always recommend you to just get a high-level overview of what you want the funnel to be on the front end and then also on the back end, right? So sit down in a Miro board like this and just think about what do you set them on the front end, what is this solving, and what do you want to solve on the back end, and what are the other products, and what is the specific AOV you want to achieve with each of these steps. All right. So first of all, you want to think about the funnel mechanics and what is the specific product you have on the front end. Now, let's just get started and break this down. Now, this is one of our clients called Truly Free Home. Now, essentially what they're selling, if I show you the website, they essentially, so it's a super, super sick brand, right? So they sell these organic laundry cleaners, right? So the problem on the market with most of the laundry washers is that they have a lot of toxins in them. They are like really have a lot of chemical stuff in them. So Truly Free Home solved this problem. So they sell specifically to mothers, right, and housewomen who really are obsessed with the health of the children, right? So this is essentially the product and also the funnel that we built for them. Now, the main offer that we had on the front end is essentially the laundry wash, but already on the sales page, we gave them those 3 different options to purchase, right? So this was as low as $5 to as high as $20 on the front end. Now, as soon as they then choose one option, they go into the checkout, and then after they click pay on the checkout, then the magic happens, right? So we essentially give them 3 different one-time offers. Now, as I said earlier, we always show them 2 to 4, right? So this is always a bit based on the front-end product, and then also what really makes sense. Now, if we break this down, what do we say them on the front end, right? So in the ads, they mostly see this laundry wash, right? Then obviously we give them different options on the front end, but most of the people just go for option number 1 or option number 2, right? So not a lot of people take this big bundle on the front end. So on the front end, they actually take, most of them take the laundry wash, right? So this is essentially, let me just make this a bit bigger. So the front end product is the laundry wash. So you have to think about it like this, right? So front-end product is the laundry wash. Now, this is a specific product for a specific pain point, right? Now, if you look at the sales page, what is the main thing after the laundry wash, right? So this is obviously the main toxin-free, chemical-free, super organic, super healthy product for the children, right? So the long story short is that this optimizes the laundry specifically, right? So so this is essentially what the product does, right? So the mother can wash the laundry without toxins, right? Healthier, which then is healthier for their children. So this is what the front-end product does. Now, let's have a look at the first back-end product, because this is also what you want to focus on, right? Because as I said earlier, there's different types of upsells, right? So we can sell them on more of the same. We can sell them on getting faster results with their product. We can sell them on longer term results with their product, or we can sell them on results to another problem, right? So let's have a look at what we did here. Now, the first one-time offer that you can see here, super straightforward, right? So we didn't really write a long sales letter, or we didn't really create a video sales letter or whatever. We just have this one section where we work with a bit of urgency, right? So we tell them, hey, there's only 23 kits left in stock, right? So we really have this scarcity here, and then the urgency, hey, wait, one-time offer, try OxyBoost bleach alternative for only $5 and save 80%, right? So it's a really, really great one-time offer. Now, if we look at this product, you can see that this is saying OxyBoost alternative bleach designed to keep your whites bright and your colors vibrant without the use of bleach, right? So as you can see, this is not a more of the same upsell, right? So we don't upsell them on just more of the laundry wash, right? The first backend product is essentially a complementary product, right? So the backend product is essentially an alternative bleach, right? So this is a complementary product, but it fits really, really well into the narrative, because on the front end, as you know, we sell them on wash your laundry without toxins, right? And then it's a complementary product because essentially we tell them, get your laundry brighter with this alternative bleach. So then we tell them in the first backend product, right? This is the perfect complementary product to the product you just bought, because you can get a better wash essentially. So this, if you think about the problem, using chemicals to clean the clothes, right? And then problem number 2 that we then solve, which is another problem, is using chemicals to get better looking clothes, right? So this is another problem. I would just call this better looking, essentially more vibrant and whiter, right? So this is the upsell number 1 in the backend. Now let's have a look at upsell number 2. As you can see, first of all, right, we didn't really use any long copies or any VSLs here. It's always just a super, super straight version of the upsell. Now, upsell number 2. You can see that if we look at this product now, it's the non-toxic stain stick. So what does this do, right? It's again free of harmful toxic chemicals, and it erases the most impossible stains, right? So this is also a super interesting one, because if you think about it, this is another complementary product around the problems that they have, right? So let's talk about this for a second. Let's just think about the mother here. Let's just say, excuse my drawing skills. This is the mother, right? Now, the mother, she is doing laundry right now. Let's draw a laundry machine. Wow, I'm getting better at drawing with every drawing I do. So this is the mother. She has these T-shirts and whatever. So she has a lot of problems around the situation of, right? So she is facing a lot of different problems around the situation. Now, problem number 1 is what we say them on the front end. Problem 1 is washing without chemicals, right? So this is essentially problem number 1 she's facing. Now, what is another problem she's facing, right? She wants to get vibrant colors and clean white clothes, right? So this is another problem that she's facing. This is problem number 2. Now, what is another problem she's facing if we do the customer research? Now, problem number 3 is what happens if her children are putting stains on the clothes, right? So removing stains without chemicals, right? So this is another problem she has. So we have this problem number 1 that we focus on the front end, and then this is the first upsell in the back end, and this is the second upsell in the back end. Now, essentially, toxic-free stain remover. Get your stains removed, right? So this is number 3. Now, let's look at the last product that we upsell them. Non-toxic laundry machine cleaner. Now, if you think about it, what is another problem that she's facing in this situation after washing her clothes without chemicals, after getting more vibrant colors and clean white clothes, and after removing stains, where the washing machine also needs some focus, right? So problem number 3 is, problem number 4 already, cleaning washing machine so it lasts long without chemicals, of course. So essentially, we then have here the toxic-free laundry machine cleaner. It's a complementary product, right, to get your laundry machine clean. And this is problem number 4. Cleaning laundry machine without toxic chemicals, right? So you can see here with this funnel number 1 is that we are mostly focusing on results to another problem, right? So this is mostly complementary products, which is super, super interesting. Now let's look into funnel number 2, which is this mid-tier frontend with an AOV of 100 to 150. Now let's look at this mid-tier funnel, which is a funnel with an AOV of 50 to 150, and essentially they sell these collagens peptides on the front end, right? So this is essentially the sales page. You can see that super similar to here. We already have different bundles on the front end, and this is the sales page, right? So you can buy everything from 1 jar to 3 jars to 6 jars, everything from 40 to 99 to as high as 132 on the front end. Now, from here, we then go into the checkout, and then based on how many products they buy in the front end, we then push them into 2 different upsell flows, right? So as you can see here, from the checkout, we can either push them into an upsell, right? But we can also push them into a downsell. Now, this obviously makes more sense if you set them more of the same, right? Because this is essentially more of the same bundling on the front end, right? So this is what happens on the front end. We only give them, here you can see that we had different bundles on the front end, but in the second funnel, we only have multiple products, right? So more of the same bundling. Now, in the front end, they can, for example, have 1, they can have 3, and they can have 6, right? Now, the first upsell, as you can see, is also to collagen peptides. So it's essentially the exact same product. Now, if on the front end you go for 1 or you go for 3, then, let me just make this arrow from here, then you're being upsold to 3 more bags, right? Which is this here. But if you already take 6 on the front end, then you're being downsold to just 1 bag, right? Because if you already take 6 on the front end, why would you buy 3 more? But if you only take 1 or 3 on the front end, you can take 3 more, right? So that's essentially the logic behind it, and that's also why you need multiple logics based on what they take on the front end. So if on the front end we upsell them on multiple of these, then we always have different logics in the back end. Now, super interesting here as well is that this is essentially the downsell, right? Where you can see that is just saying, hey, this is one product, it's exactly the same, it's super cheap, and you can see that there's not a lot going on this page. So it's just saying, are you sure you want to pass out on your instant savings? Don't miss out, make sure you don't run out of collagen early, add one back to your order for just $37, right? Super, super simple. And then they can click on the call to action here. So this is super straightforward and not much going on. Now, what is way more interesting is this page that we're going to open up now. So this is essentially a text sales letter. So I'm just going to scroll through this really, really quickly. Now, what is a text sales letter? Text sales letters and video sales letters are super, super similar in the sense that you have multiple different sections, so it's almost like an advertorial, and a text sales letter is just a written version like this here, and a video sales letter is then the video version of somebody talking to the camera, but it's almost the identical same copy and style. So if we look at this here, right, you can see that section number 1 is the introduction. So saying, hey, limited time, new customer discount unlocked as a thank you for choosing Active Path. Please review the following special offer to experience faster results. So here you can see what is the first upsell. The first upsell is faster results. Now, if we look at this, then the first section is the doctor essentially congratulating them, right? So this is section number 1 that you can see here. And then section 2 is essentially the introduction to why they are upselling you now. So why are they offering this to you now? So the explanation behind the offer. Let me just write this down for you in terms of breaking this together. So section 1, and I will make this a bit smaller. Section number 1 is just the introduction of authority figure, right? What is section number 2? Introduction to offer. So section number 1 is just the introduction to the authority figure, which you can see here, right, where the doctor is talking. Section number 2 here is then the introduction to the offer, right? And then section number 3 is essentially the offer, right, which is this here. Now here's the deal, yada, yada, yada. And then they explain all of that, right? Section number 3, they explain all of the offer, right? Section number 4, benefits of offer. And then again, we're going to break this down in a second. Just want to break down the sections for you. Then the special deal with a call to action, right? So this is essentially the page. Now, high level, the frame that they use here is just this doctor saying, hey, you did an amazing job. Now, if you read through this, and again, I have the whole page here for you if you want to check it out yourself. But if you read through this, it's just using a super interesting angle saying, hey, I'm a doctor. Now, I hope you really like this product. And our facility made a big mistake, but you can take leverage of this mistake, right? So here's the deal. You can get this back. It's way more value. It's way more servings on site, but you can get it for way cheaper, right? So you have all of these improvements, as you already know, because you've already decided for this product on the front end. And so we have a super special deal for you. And essentially you can get way better results way faster if you buy this, right? So that's essentially the whole frame and the whole idea of this text sales letter, and then you can add it to your order, right? So this is the whole breakdown of the first upsell. Now the second upsell is an interesting one, right? Because this is another product, right? So this is the second upsell that we're going to break down now, essentially another product. So you can see that the style of the page is also completely different, right? So let's break these sections down together again. Now, what is section 1 that we can see on the page? If you want even faster results, try the collagen boosting power of Collagen Care Plus, right? So essentially on section 1 here, we tell them, hey, you already decided for product A on the front end, and you made a great decision, but here's another part that could be great for you, right? So essentially, we reaffirm them and introduce complementary product. That's what we do in section 1. Then again, right, so this is essentially here. And then again, this is opening up the whole frame of if you already know that the collagen peptides you bought on the front end are great, and yes, they're great. And then they explain, why do you need this complementary product now? Because this is essentially helping you get faster results, right? So this is the type of upsell that we give them here. So section number 1 is reaffirming that they already made decision they make and introduce a complementary product, right? And then you explain reason for taking the complementary product, right? Because what does the complementary product do? You see, taking collagen every day will definitely help rebuild lost collagen. However, taking the right support nutrients is absolutely mandatory in order to maintain high levels for years to come. So in this way, taking a couple of scoops of collagen every day is only half the battle. To win the war against aging, yada, 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 here we just talk about the pain points. It's important to nourish your body with key nutrients that fortify collagen production naturally. These important supporting nutrients not only increase the absorption of the collagen supplement you'll be taking, but they also turn on your body's natural production of collagen, resulting in faster and more potent results. What's more, research also shows yada, 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 yada. So we essentially tell them, hey, it's great that you take the collagen, and that's really going to already help you take the first step. But you also have to have this for the long term, right? Which is what is here. These important supporting nutrients not only increase the absorption, but they also turn on your body's natural production. So they essentially tell you the front end product we sold you helps you improve your collagen, but the new product, the complementary product we're going to sell you, is on top of that going to help your body produce collagen itself, right? So this is really, really great. And then you can see here the next section is essentially just a detailed breakdown of the product with all of the vitamins and what each of these vitamins do. Then it's tying product ingredients to desired situation, right? So then we tie the product ingredients here to the desired situation, and then we have the offer plus call to action at the bottom here, right? So this is the second funnel, also really, really great funnel. Now the third funnel we're going to look at is this high ticket front end, right? So this is the funnel from Nuru. As you can see, they sell this knee massagers on the front end, right? So this is a super high AOV product on the front end, where you can see one of them costs 180. So from ad, they push to a preset page, sales page, checkout, and then give you 3 different one-time offers before they push you to the thank you page. Now, this is super interesting because, as you can see here, and that's why I also included this funnel, they mostly work with video sales letters, right? So let me open up the page here. As you can see, it's essentially just saying, hey, option 1 of 3 to customize your order. As a new customer, you've been qualified for the special one-time offer. And then it's essentially this video sales letter, right? So here, you actually have to watch the video sales letter before they show you the offer, which is super interesting, right? So it's like a 10-minute-ish video sales letter. As you can see, we have the whole script here, so we can break it down together in just a second. But actually, they show you the video sales letter before then showing you the offer, right? So on Upsell 2 and 3, they directly show you the offer. On Upsell 1, you first have to watch the video sales letter. Now, the offer that they give you is essentially more of the same, right? So on the front end, let me just write this here. Front end is a knee massager, right? So pain point is essentially knee pain, right? So that's the product that they sell you, as you can see here, right? Knee pain, arthritis, stiffness. And this is then the product on the front end, this knee massager, which is essentially right, this knee massager, which is the physical device to massage the knees and help them get rid of these pain points. That's what we set them on the front end, pretty high price point of $179. Now, what is the first upsell? The first upsell is actually a more of the same upsell, right? So essentially the upsell is a more of the same, right? So on the front end, they buy one of these, and then the first upsell is saying, hey, you're going to love it. It's amazing. Now take another one for your friends, family, yada, 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 right? So if you want to read through all of this, it's going to be too much for this video, but I have the whole VSL swipe here, right? So if you want to read through this, feel free. I cannot break down the whole VSL in this video. I have another video just specifically focusing on VSL. So if you want to check it out, check it out. But in this video, we cannot do this. Going to take too much time. Super high level. Again, we have this authority figure called Dr. Jeremy Campbell, which is this good looking doctor here, which is really trustworthy and has great authority. And then essentially super high level You can say here, this is the lead of the VSL, so just the introduction. We then have the future pacing, so just saying again, essentially reaffirming their decision that they made a great decision. Then the transition, right, to what they want to pitch you next. Then saying, hey, we do have talked to a lot of customers. The customers that get the best results all have one thing in common, right? And then they give you some more proof, and then they transition to the pitch, right? So you can see Agile find a way to enable more customers to get 2 neuro knee massagers, and I had to do this without them spending too much of their output and money, right? So here you can see that's why you can get this now for $139.95 as an upsell, right? So essentially it's just a more of the same upsell, which is upsell number 1. Now, if we look at upsell number 2, what is upsell number 2? And I think this is so smart, right? Upsell number 2 is a different product, right? And as you can see, if we open up the page, it's again a video sales letter, but then you can directly see the upsell, right?
So you just bought an.
So here you can see this is the video, and then here this is the upsell. Now they upsell you to a different product, right? But this is also for better and faster results, right? Because it's saying, hey, obviously, if you think about the logistics of this device, you can only wear it at home. So if you cannot wear it at home, what are you going to do when you're outside, right? So if we think about the customer, let's draw a nice old lady again. This is an old lady this time, and she has knee pain, right? So that's her pain point. Problem, knee pain. Now she can solve this problem. She can solve it, and that's great. Massager at home. And this is really great, right? Because it solves the problem. But then what happens as a follow-up problem? Well, problem number 2 is knee pain when outside. So what do we do then? Obviously, we have another thing that we can sell them. So solution number 2 are these knee patches. Now, here's what's so smart about us and why I love this so much. You can see they upsell you on $60 per month. So this is a subscription upsell, right? Super smart. I love this. So on the front end, you have this physical product. You can then get more of the physical products. But then they already think about customer lifetime value. Now, how do you have a great customer lifetime value with subscriptions? So they upsell you on this knee pain patch relief. So that's upsell number 2. Now, what is upsell number 3, you may ask? Let's look at this. So upsell number 3, again, we have a VSL. Upsell number 3, longer term results. Now, this is also a subscription upsell for $100. What is the upsell? It's a VIP access membership to the health club with all of these great ladies and gentlemen, essentially a community that helps them get longer term results, get in better shape, and solve all of these other problems, right? What is another problem, which is a bit more all around? Problem 3, general health and wellness, right? How do you solve problem number 3? With this great community solution, health community, where we teach them around all of this other stuff. Now, if you think about this, let me just break down the mechanics. Front end offer is a minimum of $179. Upsell 1 is a offer of $139. Upsell 2 is then $59 per month. And upsell 3 is then $97 per month. So best case scenario, you have an AOV, right? Average order value, front end of, let's just say, this is 300 something, 400 something, right? So if they actually take all of this, it's 179 plus 139 plus 59 plus 97, right? So this is almost like 430, 440 something. But let's just say the AOV on the front end can easily be 300 to 400 if they take all of these. But then the customer lifetime value, in a good case, if they stay on this for like 2-3 months, and if they stay on this for like 2-3 months, the customer lifetime value can super quickly be 500 to 1,000, right? So that's why this is such a great funnel, right? Now that we've broken down all of these funnels together, right, and you still want more help, more input, and you need help with execution, then feel free to schedule a call with me and my team. We've implemented this for hundreds of business. Just click on the link, watch the explanation video, and then schedule a call with me and my team. We've implemented all of these direct response principles for hundreds of brands. We've built tons of these different upsell funnels in the backend. Also for brands that already had upsell funnels, we've written new VSLs that outperform the current VSLs by over 20%, right? So we're absolute experts in these areas with front end, back end, everything with direct response marketing, copywriting, VSLs, advertorials, offers, right? So yeah, if you need help with execution, feel free to schedule a call with me and my team, and I can show you how to implement all of this into your business to help you scale way faster and way more profitable. Hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and also let me know what kind of content you want to see, and then see you soon.